Hello, my friends. So, I wanted to talk a little more about yesterday's or the earlier episode that I created. Um, and what I want to share as I sit here in the beautiful sunshine, which may or may not continue to um, be experienced because we're in the fall season and it's soon going to disappear. And I'm sitting here and enjoying it. So, that's where we're at today. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little more. Last episode or the last one I shared was specifically around kind of theory, kind of giving you some context to why I was creating this sacred circle for spiritual warriors. And what I want to share today is a little more about the vision of what we're creating together. I mentioned on the other episode around how the world is shifting, how we as a collective are being called to something different. And over the years, we've shifted into this space where we take from the earth and we are seeking things outside of us. We've spent all of our life being trained in the industrial world, and from the ripple effect of that, of being trained to work in the industry, right? So, go to school, get good grades so that we can learn to be part of a factory. That was the original sense of school. And now we're in this age of creation. We're moving into the age where we get to be able to, you'll notice like entrepreneurs coming up all over the place. The younger generations aren't feeling like they need to be in a job for a reason because we're meant to create and be. And we spent a lot of years, and there was a huge ripple effect again of the generations and what happened during those generations for a reason. But again, the shift, like I mentioned, the other recording on the last episode was around the 2020 and the effect of what that happened to all of us and how things have shifted so much in the last 5 years in society, in the world in general. And so we've been in a very much in this space for many, many years of we've been taught to seek things outside of us. We've been taught to find answers, find things. We need things, material things. And that's not what we are meant, energetic beings are meant to be here for. We're not meant to be here to collect things. We're not meant to be here to find even answers outside of us. We have an inner guidance system. We have feelings and intuition and things that are giving us guidance on where we're supposed to be. The answers that we're seeking are all within us. And we have lost touch with this inside spark that we have. I'm sitting here in the beautiful sun. And when we look at the stars, every one of the stars in the sky, and we only see a small portion of it when we look up. I heard this the other day and I was like, oh, that's mind blowing. We only see a fraction of the stars in the sky. My phone fell, so it's just propped up. It's not on a stand today. Anyway, and I'm sitting in the sun. So, and the bruise blew it over. We'll edit it together. It's totally fine. Anyway, as I was saying, we only see a fraction of the stars in the sky, like just a small amount of the stars. And imagine the thousands and thousands of stars out there. And what is a star? It is a burning ball of gas, very similar to our sun. And each one of us, energetic beings in this human experience, in this human body, are beings of light, just like those stars, just like our sun. And that energy, like we think about the radiation of the sun and all of the things, the strength that comes from the sun. And that power is actually within each and every one of us. That creation, that infinite power. We've spent a lot of years seeking finite things around us, using the world materials, using all of the earth's resources that are finite, that have a limited amount, where we have a unlimited amount of energy, just like the sun, within us, an unlimited amount of strength. But we have spent years experiencing, not being told, again, not about the system, but we've been in experience where we've been we understand that we need to find things within us. And we're being told right now to come back to who we are and the infinite power that we are already tapped into within us. And so, what I want to share here is, and we're going to continue this conversation, which is so fun, um, is that we are here to experience more, and not more as in more things, more stuff, more. Yes, we want to live life and experience the beauty that is this earth, that is this world. But we have this infinite source of energy within us. When you think about it, when you are passionate about something and you go and do that thing, how much energy is sparked within you? Even if you're feeling tired and drained, if you go do something like creative, that feels good, that like is just brings you passion and energy, how much could you utilize that energy to continue on with something? Like if you say dance or paint, whatever feels that spark within you, you find infinite source of energy. And we get to those points where like, or you have days where you're laughing your face off, like that adrenaline, that dopamine that you receive from that, right? It brings energy. It brings adrenaline. It brings a good feeling. What makes us feel drained is when we're pulling and giving of ourselves constantly from a finite source. We're seeking like that energy from things outside of us, that dopamine rush from social media, from everything else outside of us. And when we realize that we have an infinite source of energy within us, and we start tapping into that, we start tapping into the things we're passionate about, our creative side, the feminine side. We've been very much in a masculine energy for an awfully long time. And this is why we're feeling this world right now is so chaotic, is because we're looking at it and it's that toxic masculine energy, not people in particular, but where we're, utilizing in like finite resources and that power, money. Money is only energy and it amplifies who we already are. We don't need more money. It's what the money that we're seeking gives us that we need to find within ourselves. This is why I have a money program as well. And we're talking about that in that program, we talk about the emotional safe house that we've all created. But we need to find and regulate that emotional safe house because most of us have built that emotional safe house on survival emotions, fear, worry, doubt, anxiety, pressure, all of these things that we feel. We're in survival emotions, those lower frequencies. And when we start tapping into things that light us up, that excite us, that are fun, that give us heart, that give us passion, that give us just that energy, it's different. It's an infinite source. Oh, here we go. That's already within us. And when we stop seeking outside of us, that things that we need to give us the energy, be it energy drink, could be coffee. What's exciting him right now, and that's okay. I'm going to keep going. When we start seeking the passion and the excitement and the things that are within us that drive us, that energize us, the answers, the things that we already know are within us. Because every one of us, we talk about holistic healing and all of these beautiful things. Every one of us is a healer. Every one of us is a psychic. Every one of us is a medium. We have those potentials. I talked about the potentials in the human mind on the last episode. But every one of us had the ability to tap into that resource. It's just a matter of whether or not we do and choose to use that resource. But the thing is, when we start tapping into that infinite resource, that supply that we currently have, the abilities that we have, the things that light us up, we begin to radiate and share light versus take. And when we come from that space, we are bringing back balance, not only mostly within ourselves, because everything starts with us first. When we start sharing that light out and we start expressing from that, we are giving back, and we are giving from overflow versus taking and depleting our earth. And when we bring balance back within ourselves, again, we are giving permission for others to then bring balance back for themselves. And as the collective, as we do that together, we bring back balance to the earth. We shift from the taking that we've been in into giving from unconditional love, from what feels good. It's a totally different energy from what we've been experiencing in the material world of needing more and seeking it all and spending all of our time on our phones and depleting ourselves, because that's what we're doing. Because when we are seeking from an outside source, we are depleting our own energy instead of tapping into the wealth of creation that each one of us have the access to. And so when we start bringing balance back individually, and then by doing that, giving permission to others to bring balance back within themselves, and again, we create this ripple effect of what is possible in this world, of what we're here to do. And so I wanted to share all of that again in the space of creating and allowing others to become their own spiritual warrior, to call upon those of you that are feeling ready to step up, to be the light, to tap into your own infinite resource, to tap into your abilities, your gifts. And that could be art. It could be, we're switching away from, if you'll notice, industrial type trades. Not that the trades are always going to be needed. That's not what I mean, but like, just the shift in what is going on in this world. And creators are becoming the majority, right? And so when we come into that space of creation of what we are truly possible, and you can love me or hate me for sharing that, because we are all have our own infinite source of creation, as opposed to some beliefs where we are not the creators. There's somebody else that does that. Yes, there's a higher power. Yes, there is something that we are co-creating with, but it is naive of us to think that we don't have that ability within us. We create life as humans, as animals, as like creators. We are not the only type of being in this world that creates. So why do we feel like the creator is out there? We are connected. There is something, there is an energy, there is God, source, universe. You can give it whatever title you like. There is a higher power that we are all connected to. And we're connected to it, which means it's part of us. It's not outside of us. It is all around us in every aspect of that thought. In the grass, in the earth, in the sky, in the trees, in the animals, in the wind. It is all around us. And as I sit here and bask in this light, the more I tap into the light, like as in literally sit here, close my eyes and feel into that light, the brighter it gets. And that's the same thing that happens within us. The more we sit within and tap into our own resource, the lighter the brighter our light will get. That's what we're here to do. It's not to collect all the things, to have all the things, to know all the things. We already know what we need. And we spend all of our life seeking it out here. It's not. So I would just encourage you to share your light, encourage you to tap in within. We had a call, we have an expansion circle group that we have calls on Thursdays. And one of the things that we talked about last night, was around spending more time within, even just 5 minutes a day. I talked about in our emotional safe house, and most of us have an emotional safe house that is a survival emotion, an emotion that we tap into. If you follow Tony Robbins, he talks about this all the time, is we have a house, a comfort zone of emotion that we generally, when we're challenged, we go back to, whether it's anger, fear, frustration, whatever. And when we start noticing that emotional safe house, we're meant to create a safe house within us that is like a comfort zone that is not based in survival. And we can't find that outside of us. We can't find out what is our safe house. This is exactly what we talk about in our money shift program, in the sacred shift. This is exactly what we do, is we tap into the safe house and the emotion that makes us feel safe, that brings us out of survival. And that's the potential that we have within us. And when we start tapping into that more often than we tap into those survival emotions, which we do on a regular basis, when we create the habit of tapping into that safe feeling that feels good and expansive and expressive of who we truly are, that's where the magic happens. That's when we find our own authentic essence within us. And that's what I'm inviting you to do. You don't need to be a healer. You don't need to be a spiritual entrepreneur. You get to do that in any way that feels right for you, in your fullest expression of your own true self. No matter where you are in the world, no matter what you're doing, we feel like, if you're in a job, you're like, well, I can't do that because I'm working at Tim Hortons or I'm working at blah, 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 anywhere else. Yeah, you can. You can be the light wherever you are. And it's not just about paying it forward. It's literally being the light in your day. Sharing a smile, that's your light. Sharing a greeting, that's your light. Sharing love in some way, sharing food, sharing thoughts, sharing wisdom, that's your light. Sharing movement, if that's what you do and brings you passion and joy. When we tap into those resources, that's what I'm talking about. And that's what you're meant to do. That's what we're all meant to do. So experiment, play, have fun, share your light today. Follow along, hit subscribe. Feel free to join the conversation. This is a circle, and I'm opening and welcoming anyone to this circle. We can continue this conversation. If you want to jump on a Zoom and we can continue this conversation, I would love to do that with you. I invite you to join the conversation, whether in the comments, message me directly, and we can get on a call and chat about it, hit record, and we'll share it with the world. Because more of this conversation is meant to happen. That's how we make change in this world. By sharing our thoughts, sharing our wisdom that we all have within us. So don't feel like you don't have something to share. Drop it in the comments, like, share, follow, subscribe. Share this with somebody else that you feel called, and we will talk again soon. Have a beautiful day, my friends.